Regression. It may be the most popular buzzword on football Twitter. Every off-season, the discourse around young teams that took a step forward is really about how they grew and how they will continue to grow. The talk is of how they'll regress. 1 year removed from years-long dysfunction, a 6-game jump in wins, their most wins in a season since 2018, and their first home playoff win since 2010, and now the Chicago Bears are due to regress, due to collapse, and due to being the same old Bears. But there's a problem. Regression isn't inevitable, it's environmental. And in Chicago, the environment and the culture changed under Ben Johnson. From day one, Ben established what it was going to feel like to be a Chicago Bear. He built a culture demanding excellence, and he set expectations that he wasn't there to be a year away from being a year away. He expected the team to compete immediately and knew they had the pieces to do so. With no generic coach speak and no acronym the team follows, what's been missing from Chicago isn't just a leader of men, it's a coach that takes accountability, has the buy-in and trust from the roster, a coach that puts his players in positions to succeed schematically, a coach that calls players with conviction and intention to set up the knockout punch towards the end of the game. He's a coach that knew he was bringing in actual and competent strategy with an offense that is schematically versatile that will give them an advantage no matter how well the opponents study the offense. And throughout the season, when he addressed media with problems he believed the team had, they continually showed they had solutions. Pre-snap penalties dropped, the run game went to a different level. He took a team that he believed lacked the habits of a championship level team early in the year, one overtime period away from the NFC Championship game. There's been only 12 instances in NFL history where quarterbacks have 6 or more fourth quarter comebacks in a season, and in that list includes Caleb Williams. The average win percentage for those players the following season? 62%. That projects to 10 to 11 wins over a 17-game season. Late game success at that volume isn't just dumb luck, it's quarterback play, and quarterback development tends to compound, not collapse. Now compare that to true volatility. Contrary to popular belief, the Bears weren't a one-score game merchant, with a 7-4 record in such games, compared to the Broncos, who finished the season 11-2 in one-score games and also had 5 fourth-quarter comebacks. That's regression territory. Teams that rely on comeback usually regress unless the reason for needing those comebacks disappear. And it's no secret that the Bears had their struggles offensively and defensively. Offensively, the team struggled with a lot of self-inflicted wounds. Pre-snap penalties, players adjusting to a new playbook, lining up incorrectly, running the wrong routes, or running without purpose. It was a run game that couldn't find rhythm early in the season, and the inconsistencies of the pass game leaving easy completions on the field. But with time, with reps, and with intentional focus on fixing the little details, these issues became less of a fatal flaw and more of a bump in the road in the development of the offense. And the growth translated into production. The Bears finished 6th in total yards, the 3rd best rushing offense, a top 10 scoring offense, the 3rd highest graded offensive line according to PFF, and 6th in total offensive EPA, which is a far cry from Bears offenses of the past. And the volatility on defense. If the offense showed growth, the defense showed contrast. They were the definition of a boom or bust unit. They led the league in takeaways, but they also allowed the 4th most total yards and 10th most points per game. For context, the closest playoff team in points allowed per game was the Steelers, who allowed 2 fewer points per game and ranked 16th in opponents' points per game. The Bears' defense never controlled games, they only flipped them, and that's a dangerous way to live. Takeaways are volatile. Being boom or bust on a down-to-down basis isn't sustainable. What you need is pressure on the football, and Chicago struggled mightily there, which is why investing in the defensive line should be the focal point of the offseason. You can regress on turnovers and still improve on defense. If takeaways slip, but pressures rise, and yards allow shrink, and winning on early downs instead of late game miracles, the slight dip in takeaways is a fair trade for extra stability. Regression punishes unstable teams, but entering year 2 under a very strong and structured regime, with continuity in scheme, with better personnel fits, and injury numbers that are far more likely to come down to earth, the expected losses of key contributors on both sides of the ball in free agency may hurt, but will be beneficial in the big picture of building a contender. Bringing in scheme fits in free agency, building through the draft, navigating the trade market for a second straight year, and capitalizing on your rookie quarterback contract window is what will help this roster evolve from competitive to contender. Regression is always the easy prediction. It's always safe to assume there will be growing pains. Turnovers may dip and the comebacks might not be replicated, but the hunger, the desire, and the confidence to build on their success is something you can't quantify. And it's something the team clearly has, because teams expecting to win don't fear regression. They prepare to outgrow it.